Well, we've had great music and good dancing. And now for a change. Storytelling is said to be unlucky in the daytime, except for fishermen while they're waiting to pull in the nets. Storytelling, the biggest farmer in our parish, told his servants when he caught him listening to the storyteller the day of the thrashing, storytelling, he said, is a nocturnal pursuit. And so it ever was. When people finished working in the fields and collected into the rambling houses at night, bee-telling was as common a salute as falteroth. And the man that didn't have a story to tell, he'd be as welcome there as a drop of holy water in the devil's whiskey. Johnny Curtin, he was over here across the river. Johnny Curtin is very little wages, and all through the year they look forward to Christmas Eve when they could be coming home with their pay in their pockets for their parents. Johnny Curtin, he said of the farmer that he was hybrid. It was up on the borders of Cork and Limerick where the good land is. But that farmer, oh, he was so miserly. He kept poor Johnny working all day Christmas Eve. 'Twas dark before he gave him his supper and paid him his wages, so that poor Johnny, he had the night for company on the long road home. No friendly Christmas candles up there to light him on his way. Oh, he was so young and so frightened when he came around every turn. He thought a monster was going to hop out of every bush. And he lost all track of the number of times he'd gone astray. And coming up to 12 o'clock, the witching hour, he heard a troop of horsemen coming behind him. And when they drew near, he saw that they weren't from this world at all. For there in the middle of them was his aunt's husband that died the year before. And these horsemen then came in a circle all round him, and the captain of the horsemen said to Johnny, "Be telling." And Johnny said, "I've no story to tell." Well, those spirits from the other world, they couldn't believe it, that a young man of that age, that he'd be out that hour of the night with no story to tell. And they were moving in towards them in a very threatening fashion. And the captain put up his hand and he said, "Let him alone this time." He said, "He's young. Maybe he'll have a story to tell before morning." So he said to Johnny, "What's your name?" And he said, "I'm by the Curtins. I'm from the parish of Killala in the diocese of Arferton. I had "Oh," says the captain, "you're a long way from home here, so." "Oh, I am," says Johnny. "Run away now," says the captain, "and we'll have you home in 2 shakes of our aunt's tail." "How could I keep up to ye," says Johnny, "and ye all on horseback, and I shanks mare?" And the captain says to him, "Break a sally twig off the bush that was growing at the side of the road," and Johnny did. And the captain, looking at the sally twig, he said, "Gruig the cown, solace of the hula agus fiacla id veal," meaning hair in your head, light in your eyes, and teeth in your mouth. And the same to you, Johnny Curtin, if you're ever caught shot. And looking at the sally twig again, he said, "Fiol agus knava orth, cossa agus cruba foot, agus erbal tev here," meaning flesh and bones on you, feet and legs under you, and a tail behind. And the same to you, Johnny Curtin, if you're ever caught shot. Johnny wasn't too sure at all about the tail behind, but he didn't say anything. And then the captain, he licked his thumb like that, and he rubbed it to the sally rod and turned it into a fine bull calf. "Sit up on his back now, Johnny," he said, "and we'll have you home in no time. But I'm giving you one word of warning, Johnny Curtin," he said. "While you're up on that calf's back," he said, "never open your mouth. If you do, it'll be the worse for you." So Johnny sat up on the calf's back, and the little calf put his tail in the air, and off he went after the galloping horses. That was the quilting down through Newmarket and Kanturk, and headed through Killiney Creeve and over the county bounds and into Ramore. And they kept on the straight road until they came to Knockan School, and they veered left down through Cora Cove, over to Killala, where Johnny could see the Christmas candle lighting in his own window. Oh, was he delighted. And when the horsemen, when they came to the banks of the river Flesk, there was no bridge there at the time, the horsemen made one bound and jumped over the river and into the field at the other side. And Johnny, coming up on the calf's back, he was wondering, like in his own mind, would the little calf, would he be able for the big jump? When the calf came up to the bank, he made one spring, and he went sailing across the river, and Johnny up on his back. And Johnny, he was so full of admiration for the calf, that he couldn't keep his mouth shut, the fool. And he said, say what you like, that was one hell of a jump for a calf. He looked down, there was nothing under him, I had a sally twig. And he fell down, splash, into the river. And when he was crawling out of the other side like a half-drowned cat, the captain of the ferries came out to him and he said, well, Johnny, he said, have you your wages? I have, says Johnny. And tell me, he said, have you anything else? I have, says Johnny, I have a story now. But who in the hell will believe it? Johnny Curtin, I was telling you about. Johnny Curtin, he got tired of working for farmers and he went to America. And after about 50